we've had a great corporate career. We want to feel valued and respected. We want to push the needle doing amazing things, but we also want flexibility and that respect. So I think it's understanding. I think the gig economy is going to change, much more office work. And I'm happy with my team going traveling as well and having another life.
Just have a Wi-Fi connection, please.
Basically, especially with quite a few skill sets and stuff like that. It's just like actually go traveling and work as well and stuff like that. But putting in those boundaries or, have another job, I think that's fine. I think we will get to people having a couple of jobs and stuff, but you're pulling them in for those expertise.
Yeah.
So I think the model needs to be changed quite often. I think some of the companies that I'm fascinated by, and when Elon Musk's group and stuff like that, where they're talking about where's the $1 billion company that's just going to be one employee, one person running it. Is this possible? And it's just like going, and now I see that going, actually, you don't need physical employees. Can you do it in different ways as well? That goes completely against the office of.
I think it's Daniel Priestley does a lot with AI, doesn't he? You're a fan of. Are you aware of Daniel Priestley? I think he used that term as well about $1 billion company based on one person. Using AI and stuff.
And I think it was their WhatsApp group. That's where the conversation.
Is that right? I can't remember.
All the big tech gurus have got betting on when it's going to happen. When the $1 billion company with only one person there, and then I go, actually you can have all your team contractors or something. You're not necessarily full-time permanent staff members there. So
it's crazy. These next 5 years are crazy. So given what you've just spoken about, I think there's a conversation to be had around flexible offices versus traditional. Traditional for the layman. Explain what the differences are.
And I would say a traditional office is very much you're taking on a lease, and it's always been long term. I remember starting in property like 20 years ago, lease length, so 20 years and stuff. It's been going shorter. So we're about sort of six years and stuff, average lease lengths. So that whole traditional market's being brought down anyhow in some ways to make it more customer friendly and easy and more agile there. The other side is you've got what was traditionally sort of always called serviced offices, business centres as well. That's much more, I would say, your pay-as-you-go model. That's much more monthly. There's different variations, but keeping it really simple, it is much more easy to get in, get out.
Yeah.
You've got all your services provided. It's a full outsourced solution. So all your Wi-Fi, all your tech, your meeting rooms, your reception, your post is organised, cleaning, everything is done for you. Whereas the opposite in some ways with a lease, you are having to do that all yourself.
Yeah.
So they're the two extremes. And the term flex is quite confusing anyhow. There's nothing flexible generally about office, because the meaning is being lost because now everybody's using it in some ways. But it's much more that agility. And then the interesting one is what I'd say the managed is the phenomenal growth, like all the statistics we've looked at and stuff like that, sort of 100% growth year on year with this managed space.
So what's the difference between that and a flex space then?
So they're still determining a managed is flex space.
Gotcha.
It's the in-between hybrid between your traditional serviced office and your conventional lease. So the term is in between there. But for a business, say, especially if you're 20 to 60 employees, you're getting much more room service, I would say.
Right.
That if you need support, you've got your own front door with your company brand name there. But you get some of those benefits that you would get with the service. You can phone somebody. You've got your furniture fit out. Everything's been done for you, your Wi-Fi and everything. It's an outsourced solution for an office, but you still have that customization to make it your own. So that's why the growth has been there, because businesses are needing that support because of the procurement, because it's so expensive with offices and, all the rigmarole, the time that is spent, like saying with setting up an office space.
Design and build, you've got the architects, and then you've got to go through tendering process, you've got to do research on what's right and what's wrong, so it takes years.
It does. And so for a business that's growing, not quite sure what they want, still working it out, managed is a great option. Managed is also provided by some service office providers, they will go for much more. Those micro businesses, say from like one sort of office desk to like 20, but now they do the enterprise, I would say the 20 pluses to even 100. Well, we work on something up to 1,000 that they'll put in a sort of with the service on site.
Yeah.
But, so that's also part in flex and managed. So that's where it gets confusing.
Yeah.
But a lot of this managed is space for businesses that traditionally would do all the fit out and then everything themselves, but are going, this isn't our expertise. And, it is going, actually, let's bring in the experts, knowing how detailed it is and what they'll
provide me with the car. All I have to do is get into it and drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think where we're seeing businesses that have come as sort of serviced offices or flex natives, they always sort of scaled their business with, the property services being provided for them.
Yeah.
So their mindset is that this is the natural progression. So we're seeing growth from that side, but also the traditional sort of lease, sort of office, companies that have taken a traditional office lease are now looking at it going, oh, yeah, this is really complex, actually.
Yeah.
We need speed. We want to be in office much shorter. We want to be able to sort of say, in a month's time, we want to move on this and stuff like that. So it's really playing on all the market trends in agility. And we're seeing Savills data as well saying the demand is there for, I call it like offices on a plate. You want it served up for you much more. You don't want to do it yourself.
Are they, is there a specific company? Are we talking there about SMBs, or are we talking actually anyone up to, enterprise sized clients are also looking at this option? Because when you're talking to me about this, it sounds like what you're saying is, if you're kind of on this scaling path, then a managed flexible office, whatever term you want to use, is quite a nice solution for you to have, because you've got the flexibility to quickly move out in a month. You're growing, you've got 50 more heads in that period of time, you can quickly move out, and you've got the agility to be able to do that. But the kind of the dialogue that you've just used made me think, well, that's kind of SMB size businesses. Would I be right in saying that, or are there other kind of enterprise size clients that are also signing?
Like Amazon, eBay, all the big companies are using flex office spaces as well.
Yeah.
If they need to quickly get into a country, or they've got small teams like in Brussels, they need sort of satellite offices.
Yeah.
They're not setting up their own operations. They're bringing in a provider to run it for them.
I understand.